people around the world as quickly as possible. There are three things we need to do there. We need to be making the most of the existing 10 billion doses. We need to be not leaving any stone unturned. And if there are manufacturing partners that our companies have not found, let them come forward, because in my experience, companies are absolutely keen to work on a voluntary basis with credible partners where that stands a chance of working. And we need to ensure open trade, and we need to stop export restrictions that are getting in the way of global supply. That's what we need to be focusing on.
Briefly, Richard, if you'd be so kind. I mean, just because the US supports this doesn't mean to say it's going to pass muster with the World Trade Organization, and countries like the UK and indeed the EU are opposed to it. I mean, would you like to see the UK reiterating its opposition to this waiver?
Yes, I would, and I've high hopes that they will. I think the UK government has been, extremely strong and clear on this issue so far, as has the European Union. We have several more weeks and months before the WTO, I should say, needs to make a final decision on this. And my hope is that there will be a really robust dialogue. We as an industry absolutely want to engage in that and be part of it, desperately part of the solution. We're all in it together in this. It's collaboration that's got into this far, it's collaboration that will get us out of it. But I'd reiterate those 3 points that I mentioned to you before. Make most of the doses, not leave any sort of stone unturned, open markets. That is a concrete plan for delivering access. We can focus on and will deliver results. Let's not go down the path that could risk undermining the progress that's already made.
Richard Talbot, appreciate you joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, in just a couple of hours' time, the Bank of England is going to give us its latest view on the UK economy. It will publish its quarterly monetary policy report that gives the bank's economic analysis and inflation forecast, and is the basis for its decisions on interest rates. Well, the bank is probably going to hold rates at the current historic low level, but there are increasing concerns about inflation around the world, with so much money being pumped into economies because of the COVID crisis. So what might we expect to hear from the bank? Could the economy overheat as it recovers quickly? We're joining me now to talk about this, former member of the Board of Governors of the US Federal Reserve, Randall Krosner, and the chief economist at Santander, Victoria Clark. Welcome to you both. Victoria, let me start with you. The bank is currently forecasting GDP growth of 5% this year. Would you expect it to raise that forecast today?
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely that they'll be looking at least an upgrade to short-term growth. They've had a better first quarter for the UK economy. We're now facing a pretty robust new month where there's a number of indicators which are suggesting that reopening boost for the UK economy is going to be really very strong. And they've got greater news that suggests that the vaccines are doing the trick in terms of delivering immunity to the UK population. That suggests that the reopening plan can be adhered to. So it's all, at least in the short term, pretty positive. The question is really whether that shift the medium to long-term position for the bank, whether they take a different view on the UK economy 2 to 3 years ahead, and that's the key question for really where interest rates should be setting, because that will underpin its view not just about where inflation is now, whether we've got this big rise which we have this year, but really whether that set to stick around.
And I mean, you mentioned inflation. I mean, right now it is pretty benign, but it looks as if there's a lot of pressure building up in the system.
There are many signals on input prices, output prices. Various surveys suggesting that there are some pretty robust pipeline price pressures, which should start to feed through to metrics of inflation, which you and I look at the price inflation over the month ahead. I think increasingly as firms are facing these price pressures, they will feel more confident in passing these on, because this big recovery, this rebound in consumer spending, which we expect over the next few months, will give them an opportunity to do so. So yes, inflation looks set to be rising, from the current lows to higher levels. But the key focus, the key question that most central bankers are looking at now is that inflation permanent or is it transitory? And we think, most likely the bank will still today decide that is transitory inflation, and therefore it doesn't need to react to this. It can sit back and it can watch and wait. And ultimately, it needs to decide, does it think it has a supply and demand imbalance 2 or 3 years ahead, or does it still think, even with a rise in inflation, that it is heading back to its 2% target in 2 to 3 years' time?
Okay, well, Randy, let me bring you in. We're probably not going to get any movement on rates today, but there is a lot of discussion in the market right now about quantitative easing. I mean, the bank is currently capped at 895 billion in terms of its asset purchases. At the current rate, it will hit that by October. Some people are speculating that they might reduce the monthly and weekly purchases so they can continue to the end of the year. What do you reckon?
So I think they're going to be fairly cautious about that. They might signal that, but I think that's something that's more likely to be signaled at the next meeting in June. But it really depends on what they see and prospects for inflation and prospects for growth. Clearly, they're going to upgrade the growth forecast. There's a lot of optimism. The vaccine rollout has gone well. The effectiveness of the vaccine is very high. Consumers have a lot of money that they are ready, that they've saved up and are ready to spend, and so I think they will be thinking about this, but I'm not sure that they're actually going to pull the trigger quite yet.
Randy, you and I have talked in the past about the challenges that the Federal Reserve has in terms of its messaging on QE. Is this as big a challenge for the Bank of England?
It's exactly the same thing, because what they want to do is they want to make sure to provide support for the recovery, because it's. Certainly, it looks like we're going to have an enormous boom, but there's an enormous amount of uncertainty at the same time. So they don't want to spike up in rates because of their way that they're going to exit. A number of years ago, we had the so-called taper tantrum in the U.S. When then Chairman Ben Bernanke talked about the slowing down of asset purchases, not that they would stop or reduce them, but just slow the pace of increase, and that caused tumult in the markets and a spike up of interest rates. The bank wants to avoid that, and I think that's probably why they will wait, because I think they want more of a foundation for that, so when they do make the move, it wouldn't lead to a spike in rates.
Victoria, Randy just touched on the amount of money that's been built up by households and businesses. Rishi Sunak put a number on that the other day, £240 billion. What sort of assumptions are you making about how quickly that money is spent?
Well, we've been looking at surveys available, and it looks as if most of that cash is with the 65 plus group, but that they do still plan to spend quite a lot of it. And whilst we have limited sort of information on how quickly they'll spend it, there are some pretty good steers from some of the real-time economic data that we get, credit and debit card spending that suggests, it's being pushed out the door pretty quickly already. And I think that we'll see more of that, in May, in June, and probably right through the summer. The trickier thing, something I think the bank will have its eye on and wish to be cautious and careful about, is what happens when some of these safety nets get pulled off. We had the furlough scheme in place until the end of September. These are the sorts of things that add to that picture that, if you're the Bank of England, you're going to be saying, we're not out of this yet. It's too soon to call victory on the pandemic. And it is quite right to sit back and wait and see what happens with some of this data. But it does look pretty promising, at least in the short term.
All right, Victoria, Randy, always good to see the pair of you. Thanks for joining me. The COVID crisis has touched all of our lives in the past year and more. It's led to the deaths of tens of thousands of people here in the United Kingdom and millions more around the world. It's also affected how we live and work, not least here in the city, where streets, offices and businesses remain eerily empty. Well, now a campaign is trying to fund a COVID memorial in St Paul's Cathedral, just a stone's throw from where I am sat now. The Daily Mail has campaigned for business leaders to fund the initiative, and it's being backed by Sir Lloyd Dorfman, founder of Travelex and currently the chairman of the Prince's Trust. And he joins me now. Lloyd, very good to see you this morning. What made you get involved in this campaign?
I got involved last year, just soon after the first lockdown, when I happened to have a relationship with St Paul's Cathedral, and I was on a Zoom call, and as a sort of throwaway remark at the end of this discussion we were having, they mentioned that there had been a discussion between the Dean of St Paul's, the Bishop of London. Thousands of people were dying without proper funerals. People weren't getting a chance to say goodbye. And they wanted to set up, St Paul's Cathedral should set up an online memorial for all those people who died as a result of COVID. The only problem was at the time they had no money, they had no people, everyone had been furloughed, and there was a need to get this done quickly. And I sort of, I suppose I was the right guy in the right place at the right time. And I said, look, this is an amazing initiative. We've absolutely got to do this. Don't worry about the money. I'll sort that out. And do you want me to make some calls? And we made this online memorial site come alive, and I think it was 5 weeks, support from all the faith leaders, Prince of Wales, etc. And we launched it. And the idea was always to have, when the right time was right, a physical memorial as well. And that's what we're fundraising for now. We need to raise £2.3 million to get this built. As you mentioned, the Daily Mail has got well and truly behind this, and its readers have been incredibly generous. It would be wonderful if Sky and its viewers would also come on board and help make this happen. And we're going to build this portico, which will be known as the Remember Me portico, around the north transept door, which interestingly was the one part of the cathedral that got bombed during the Second World War, and they rebuilt the entrance, but the portico that was there never got rebuilt. So, we're really doing something very worthwhile here, and in the area around the portico, there will be screens for people to come in, and entry is free, there's no cost at all, and you can access, if you put a lost loved one on the screen, you can access that person on the screen. We're also keen for people to submit their loved ones onto the online memorial as well, because there are many more thousands of people that can be put on there. Again, there's no cost to doing it, and it's all part of making this an interactive and really important, moving and historic memorial for all these tragic deaths.
Well, Lloyd, while we have you, I'd be interested to know your take on the economy right now. I mean, I gather you've been quite busy during the last 12 months buying properties in Soho and a theatre. You're obviously fairly confident London is going to bounce back.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I bought an office building which is above the new Tottenham Court Road Crossrail station, which happens to have underneath it the West End's first theatre for 50 or 60 years. That's been pre-let on a long-term basis, but I'm a passionate believer in the continued importance of the office. I think we're confusing two things here with this working from home. We've coped incredibly well, to our surprise, during lockdown. But I think to extrapolate that into this is a successful recipe to build world-leading successful businesses, I think it's complete nonsense. And I think, if businesses want to collaborate and innovate and educate, they've got to bring their people to the office. And I go so far as to say that I think businesses that get their office life back in action again will be more successful than businesses who don't. If you're building a business today, do you want your people sitting at home in their bedrooms struggling to find decent Wi-Fi connections and sound quality, or do you want them in and around you so they can benefit from each other? I think also, it's really important that post Brexit, post COVID, this country has got to get it's got to get to a peak of productivity, to competitiveness. We've got to roll our sleeves up and get our sort of trading commercial mojo working more than most. And I think it's important to have teams in offices in order to do that.
All right, Lloyd, we have to leave it there. Good to talk to you again. Thanks very much for joining me, and best of luck with the fundraising.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks for your support. Thank you.
Well, let me run you now through some of the other big business stories that are around this morning. And Barratt Developments said today it expects to complete more homes this year than previously assumed. The UK's largest house builder said it's now expecting to complete between 16,000 to 16,250 homes in 2021, following a strong start to the year. The company warned that while the fundamentals for the housing market remained attractive, it was concerned that there was limited availability of higher loan-to-value mortgages for new-build homes compared with the rest of the market. Strong demand for its first-ever SUV has helped Aston Martin more than halve its quarterly losses. The luxury car maker reported a pre-tax loss of £42.2 million for the first 3 months of the year. That was down from one of £110.1 million in the same period last year. It sold 1,353 cars to motor dealers during the period, more than double the number produced in the same period a year ago, with the DBX, the company's SUV, accounting for 55% of that. And Air France KLM said today it's yet to see any signs of a recovery in air travel. The carrier said that between April and June this year, it expected to be operating at half of its pre-pandemic capacity, rising to between 55 to 65% from July to September. Well, Air France KLM, which last year received a €10.4 billion bailout from the French government, reported an operating loss of €1.18 billion for the first 3 months of the year. That was up from a loss of €815 million in the same period a year ago. Well, stock markets in the Asia-Pacific region had a mixed session overnight as Tokyo and Shanghai reopened after public holidays. The Nikkei 225 in Tokyo finished nearly 2% higher, while there were also gains in Hong Kong and in Mumbai. But Shanghai reversed amid unease over relations between China and the West. The EU yesterday unveiled measures to reduce the bloc's dependence on Chinese suppliers in a number of areas. Well, in Europe, stocks opened largely in positive territory a couple of hours ago or so. Here's the current picture, all of them still firmly in positive territory. As ever, a lot of company results to digest. Among the main talking points are Société Générale, shares of France's second biggest bank. Well, they are actually up by 4.5%. That's after it reported its best quarterly results for 6 years. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is just about in positive territory. It was when I came to the studio. Well, look at that. It's dipped into negative territory. Not much. It's more or less unchanged right now. The leading gainer is Next. Its shares are currently ahead by some 3%, and that's after it raised its full-year profit forecast slightly. The engineering group Melrose, its shares are up by just over 0.5% after it said it was performing moderately ahead of expectations. Now, the leading blue chip fallers are nearly all related to stocks going ex-dividend. In other words, anyone buying the shares today is not entitled to the latest dividend. That's a technical adjustment. Among those stocks going ex-div today are Admiral Group. Its shares are off by just over 3% there. Polymetal, Croda International and Reckitt Benckiser. Among the mid-caps, the insulation products maker Morgan Advanced Materials. Older viewers might recall that used to be called Morgan Crucible. Its shares up by 8.25% on a trading update, while the office space provider Workspace Group is up by just over 3% for similar reasons. On the foreign exchange markets, the pound pretty quiet ahead of today's Bank of England interest rate decision, off by 1/3% against the euro and more or less unchanged there against the US dollar. As for the oil price, well, that is slightly higher after news of a Look at that. It was high when I went into the studio. It's down now, $68.76 a barrel, down 0.25% right now. Barrel of Brent crude. Well, joining me now, Catherine Young. She's Investment Director at Fidelity International in Hong Kong. Catherine, good to see you again. China obviously back from a fairly lengthy labour holiday. Some interesting developments in that period.
Yes, so we had public holidays from the 1st to the 5th, and what we did see was this confidence emerge from a domestic tourism perspective. So, for example, box office or cinema admissions reached record highs. We are back to pre-COVID levels in terms of domestic travel, albeit the revenue from a tourism perspective isn't as strong as some commentators expected. But really, this consumption story, the pent-up demand story, it all continues to play out, which is obviously very beneficial for growth.
Catherine, as I mentioned just now, a few concerns about relations with the West. I mean, relations with Australia and China, particularly concerning right now.
Yes, when we're looking from a trade perspective, most countries are probably reassessing or reevaluating their trade relationships with one another. I think from a trade perspective, the area of risk, though, and this is globally, is this ongoing supply-demand issue regarding semiconductors or silicon chips. Because believe it or not, we use these chips for nearly everything, whether it's in the auto sector, whether it's in the PCs, other devices, air conditioner, remote controls, etc. And so with 70% of semiconductors coming out of Asia, mainly Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing and Samsung, other countries or companies in China, Taiwan, Korea also really forging ahead in this space. This trade relationship is something to be really mindful of and cognizant of, and it's probably going to be with us for the medium term at least.
Now, Catherine, you and I have talked in the recent past about the importance of retail investors and the growing interest they're taking in equities right now. There's some interesting developments in South Korea on that front this week.
Yeah, South Korea has been a really interesting market. So when we look at the retail participation over the past year and a half, it's been 90% of daily turnover. But having said that, the risk is that the market's really being driven towards a certain amount of sectors. Again, these themes, these world-loved names. And the leverage has now gone up to about 4% from 1.5% to GDP.
The Prasan's Automotive provides affordable, high-quality service and repairs for all makes of cars, charging from 50% of London main dealer labour rates. At the Prasan's Automotive, they have the knowledge, experience and facilities that equip them to deliver excellence and quality to their clients at a personal level. They offer servicing and repairs for all makes of cars. Special 10% labour discount and free valet for all NHS and key workers with every service and repair.
Hi there! Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
During the time of lockdown, we recognise that young people among us could be vulnerable and subject to abuse. This is why Amacares, an organisation that advocates against child sexual abuse, is here to assist the vulnerable amongst us. We have lined up an exciting and educative programmes that can be of help to you. Please check out our website on www.amacares.org for updates of programme. Enjoy a live chat with our team members for advice. Our online counsellors are also available to advise you and signpost you to the right governmental departments. You can reach us on 033 01 33 2415 or email us at info@amacares.org. Confidentiality is key. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world in adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Star Radio UK.
Smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Rise up on your feet and join us in this time of worship, somebody. Open up your mouth and bless the name of the Lord in your own language, in your own tongue. Just bless His holy name. Come on, somebody lift your voice, lift your voice.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Magnify the Lord with me tonight. Come on, somebody. On our worship,
Star Radio, radio for the people, by the people.
You, oh Lord, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, Lord, you're my everything, yeah. Nobody else but you.
Good morning and welcome to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today's Thursday, the 6th day of May, the year 2021. Time now, 10:39. And I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well. Welcome to the Star Radio UK Thursday edition of the morning show.
Rock like our God. The name of
well, some music playing in the background by Calvin's Hammond. No, God is my everything, and I hope He is your everything as well.
The name above all names.
But I'm saying good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davids and Mr. Lively Kwaiki, wherever you are this morning. I salute you. I hope you are doing very, very well. Come on. To Felix all the way in Aberdeen, I say massive good morning to you, Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin. Good morning. Hey, Malik, I hope you are doing very well. Good morning, sir. Kwame. Mr. David Kluche, good morning to you, sir. All our listeners in the US, Kavara David, Abiosei, Mr. Davidson, Mr. Buama, I salute you all, gentlemen and ladies. I hope you are doing good. What about our listeners in Asia, in Europe, in down and under, Australia, of course, and then on the African continent? I salute you. That's a welcome to the morning show. Especially to my listeners in Nigeria as well. Salute you all. Hope you're all doing good. 10:41 the time. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. So our presenters on Star Radio UK, we salute you. So good morning goes to Empress Regina. Regina, anyway, I hope you are doing very, very, very well. Thanks for the call yesterday. But once again, I beseech you, share the broadcast with your friends. And as I say, from now till 1 o'clock, we're gonna be having a very good time with music, news, views, interviews, and what have you. Analyzing and looking into details of any of the issues that is making the rounds. I'll bring you more on that front in a jiffy. But if it's your first time of listening to us, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast to follow suit, then the travel update. We'll go on from there and have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, starting from home here in the UK. We'll then from then go on to have a look at some of the other stories Normally, we should have Ms. Olaimi Koiki joining us at 11 o'clock to bring you updates from Nigeria. But like we said yesterday, he's doing some investigative work there, and therefore, once we have more information, he will be joining us. On the other side, I'll be bringing you stories making the rounds in Nigeria as well. Of course. At 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever and wherever you are. And before then, if you want to share your take with us on any of the issues, whether it be, well, you want to text or WhatsApp it, or you want to post it on our Facebook page, feel free to do so. You can also tweet at us, and I'll make sure I'm going to read that for you as well. But then at 12 o'clock, the lines are opened and you can join in the conversation. Move on from there, and the discussions or the reviews continue to 1 o'clock when we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So that in a gist is what we're going to be doing today. Let me say good morning to Mr. Ivan says all the way in France. And as I will say all the time, get yourself a hot drink or a cold one, get yourself seated or belted up, or lean at a particular position where you know you are very comfortable. Could be a bumpy ride, but I promise you, whatever the situation is, we will get to our destination. Because I'm here, I'm going to be your captain. Welcome to the program once again. Now, cracking on 10:44. And now, the quote for the day says, no path will lead to success if we do not lead our professional and personal lives with a strong commitment to integrity, respect, and humility. Let me take it again. No path will lead to success if we do not lead our professional and personal lives with a strong commitment to integrity, respect, and humility. I hope you agree with me there. So if you have, relegated any of the things that are said there and thinking that you're going to be successful, maybe you're going to be doing 419 way. But that aside, if you really want to be successful, then those are the things, that the ingredients that you need to do it. Okay. Now let's crack on. Let's move on to the weather front. Let me tell you what is happening on the weather front. Today evening there was lots of rain. What has the weather got in stock for us today? Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So for London and the southeast of England, this is how the weather is going to be for you today. This afternoon, cloud and rain will gradually clear to the east, leaving most areas with sunshine. However, it will still feel on the chilly side. Tonight we'll see clear skies with a patchy cloud moving in. At times it should remain largely dry, feeling unseasonably cold overnight. Yeah, so I think it's true, because I look at the weather and I'm thinking, has it always been like that now? In May we have cold weathers like that? Well, somebody will tell you that things are changing. What are we doing to pollute the atmosphere or to change the weather phenomenon? Maybe our pets, maybe the SUVs that we are using. What about that? Ew. Okay. Now, when it comes to the temperature is going to be 12 degrees, the low is going to be 4 degrees. Now, pollen level is going to be medium, UV level medium, and pollution is going to be low. Sunset 20:31 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:24 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to take a quick break, and once we come back, I'll bring you the travel updates. Wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. It'll be the children of the Keep your eyes on the road. Check it out. Check it out. This is Ghana, my people right here. Big shout out to all the people in Africa. Can you feel this?
Yeah, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep it updated. I promise I'll bond the Star Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40, coming your way a bit later than usual, 10:47. How is your travel this morning? Feel free to share it with us wherever you might be. But here in the UK, especially in the London area, this is how the travel is like at the moment. Now on the underground, apart from the Waterloo City lines, all the others have got good service. London Overground, as we know, sir, until further notice, there will be a reduced service during peak times on weekday. London Overground services to and from Bush Hill Park and Enfield Town. So check out that before you leave. Then aside, all the other lines on the underground, good service. TFL Rail, DLR, London Tram, the good service there as well. Now moving on to the riverbeds this morning, I can tell you once again, RB4, RB5 says river services are all suspended. Woolwich Ferry has reduced service. That aside, RB1, RB2, RB6, good service. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated, I promise I'll bond. The Star Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40.
Check it out.
Now moving on to the National Rail, Cross Country has got special service, First Transpenine Express, special service, Great Anglia, special service, Island Line, special service, and London North Eastern Railway, special service there as well. Now the final part of the travel update, that is the major roads in London. What has it got for us? Now A4 has got closures, Central London Red Routes closures, South Circular A205 closures, A20 serious delays, and A23 serious delays there as well. So as I say all the time, check before you leave. The other side, if you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us as and when there are any changes, we'll bring it to the fore. But let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Star Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Back to the program. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's time now to 10:52. That's 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's go global trotting. Playing in the background, Blame Matessa, Rock of Ages by Perez Music. I hope I'm making your morning or your day. If you're celebrating your birthday today, I say a happy birthday to you. Let me say happy birthday to Archie. You know which Archie I'm talking about? Prince Harry's son, Archie. My namesake. Happy birthday to you. It's his second birthday today. And to every one of you celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. Well, in the UK front, Royal Navy ships patrolling Jersey amid fishing row. A French naval vessel is also heading towards the island as fishermen protest against post-Brexit rules. I'm going to see some clashes going on. Well, the UK has got their some gunboats out there. And we have the French also sending their is a patrol ship. Also, are they also bringing gunboats or bringing a whole proper warship? Whatever it is, I hope that peace and calm prevails so that we can have live our lives, please. We don't want any war over the fish. But well, it is Starr Radio UK. Now, in the UK as well, million voting in bumper set of elections, local and national contests. Some delayed by COVID are taking place in England, Scotland, and Wales today. Have you voted? Not yet. I'm going to be voting this afternoon, so if not, please make sure your voice is heard. You know what we do? We don't want to get ourselves in that, in things like that, and then when people start making rules, laws, saying that, well, the area that you live in, now they're going to be putting some parking restrictions there, then you say, well, you decided not to vote. So those are some of the consequences. And when they increase the parking charges as well. Hey! Alright then. So make sure that you go out there and go and vote. Your vote is your power. Well, when it comes to the COVID and its impact on businesses, well, no full-time return to office for over 1 million people. Almost all of 50 big UK firms tell their staff they will divide their time between home and office in the future. You're working from the comfort of your home. What about that? You don't need to wake up early, trying to drive quickly, get stuck in the traffic. You are paying, you'll be paying at times when you go and park to now that we've got all these charges, and those who have got congestion and the ULES, you can work from home. You know, when we work from home to the smaller businesses around our business, our workplaces also suffer. Well, it's up to government to see to address that, isn't it? We see what you're going to be doing about that. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Backs waiver on vaccine patents to boost supply. Now, supporters say the move will increase vaccine production, but pharmaceutical industries disagree. Why are they disagreeing? We'll be having a look at that because yesterday we were talking about that if the patency, well, whatever it is, if it's paid, and then African pharmaceutical companies can also go on to produce it there, and it makes it cheaper for our people, right? And then it is right at their doorsteps, and they will all participate in the vaccination, and then we know that we can clear off this virus together. Well, we'll see what the pharmaceutical agencies are saying or companies are saying. What do they think? They think that the patency will not increase the production of vaccines. I'll bring you more of that in a moment. Well, a U.S. student has been found guilty of killing an Italian policeman. Officer Mario Cecilio Rega was stabbed to death after a drug deal gone wrong in central Rome. And then in the U.S. U.S. birth rate fall 4% to its lowest point ever. The rate drops for mothers of every measured race and ethnicity, and in nearly every age group. So good morning to Sister Gina Latte. Hope you are doing good. She's championing people going to take the vaccine. So if you have not taken yours yet, please contact her. She will help you out. Well, yesterday we did talk about Donald Trump's ban on Facebook and the fact that he is also introducing his own platform to, social media platform. Now it says that Facebook top court says the company had 6 months to justify its permanent ban of Mr. Trump. If you ban him permanently, he is going on another platform. What impact will it make? We'll be looking at that. Starr Radio UK. Global trotting. Netanyahu rival Lapid asks to form government. Now, Israel's president turned to Yair Lapid after the prime minister missed an overnight deadline. What are we going to see? Are we going to see another election, or would he be able to form a government? And who is going to be forming with? Starr Radio UK. By academic files claim over UAE detention, Matthew Hedges says he is still waiting for justice after being in prison for spying in 2018. It is Starr Radio UK. Now, Sweden faces up to wave of women's killings, a spate of deaths reignites a debate about domestic violence in a country praised for gender equality. So what exactly is going on there in Sweden? I mean, we look at those countries and we think that, wow, when we are there, your human rights and everything, I mean, it's properly protected. However, we see a spate of killings that has gone on, has reignited a debate about domestic violence in that particular part of the world. What do you think? Well, in some Brexit issues or secrets that have been spilled, EU negotiator Barnier has done so. From Theresa May and Boris Johnson to English breakfast, Maki Barnier's new book reveals it all. If you want to know more about what happened, read it. It will help you. Well, in Asia, Indian COVID aid not reaching those in need. Emergency relief is flowing into India, but concerns are mounting about delays in supply. Hong Kong activist Joshua Wong jailed over Tiananmen Vigil. The Tiananmen Vigil commemorated the deaths of up to 1,000 of pro-democracy protesters in China. This is China, man. Don't try nothing. But it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just try it with us. You can make your comments. Hey. African or on the African continent, the Nigerian kidnappers free 27 college students that the student held for nearly 2 months by gunmen will be undergoing medical tests. And linking it with another story from Nigeria, the Catholic Church has suspended Father Mbaka over row with Buhari. Mbaka was asked to proceed on suspension with effects from May the 3rd after being summoned by Callistus Valentine Onaga, the diocesan bishop. I'll be telling you more about what caused that, because he was hitting the president, saying that, well, you are not doing much when it comes to insecurity in the country. And the church has now gone on to say, we are suspending you. Now, if they are scared to complain or say anything, I mean, we've had some bishops or fathers who have been kidnapped and killed. I think that, well, I'm saying this and I need to talk about it. He's not saying that she needs to be toppled or the military should take over, but he's saying that, well, you are not doing enough. What is wrong with that? Well, maybe you don't have to criticize. Maybe you don't have to criticize government. You just have to be praying as a priest. You see, let's go and pray. You see somebody going to rob someone, you say, let's go and pray. So you pray so that the person stop robbing the individual or whatever household or whoever this person wants to rob or cause. That may too. But it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Corruption charges against the Secretary General trigger a power struggle within the ruling party. That is pertaining to the ANC. Yesterday evening, Frank shared a video with me. I'm trying to see whether I can put it on sometime during the course of the program or at the tail end of the program. And the gentleman who was granting the interview was talking about the fact that anything that happens to African is from within. He was talking about the insect that destroys the beans. He say that insect is from within, it's not from without. He's talking about how we complain that, well, the Western world seems to be destroying everything and doing everything against us. He said, without us, they cannot do so. I'll bring you more on that front. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Mourner's whole parade before Zulu Queen's funeral. South Africa's Zulu Nation awaits a decision on who will succeed the Queen who died last month. And these are brought about a plunge in controversy following the death of the king and the regent. Starr Radio UK. Hey, we're in Ghana. There is a new issue that is going on social media platforms, and that is hashtag Fix the Country Now. Since Central MP Canadian Japan has asked Ghanaians to wake up and not fall for the deceit being peddled by the National Democratic Congress. According to him, prior to electing Professor Atta Mills as president, the NDC was engaged in similar agenda which swayed Ghanaians to their side. However, the NDC came to power and messed the system up by increasing the price of fuel and increasing the standards of living in the country. But the question is, has the MPP done any better? So if we had people who were protesting at the time before the MPP took over, that's before the 2016 election, saying that there is doomsaw and get the lights on, we don't want this, and everything that went on and all the demonstration that took place. And if now people are looking at the hikes when it comes to fuel prices and everything that is gone up, cement prices have gone up, everything is gone up. And I say, yeah, hashtag Fix the Country Now. What's wrong? You know, we love to criticize people, but we don't want to accept criticism as well. And I say it all the time. If it's constructive criticism, listen, I will take it on the chin. Give it to me, man. It's only that one is destructive. You've not seen something and you're saying it, accusing me when I'm doing my best and say my best is not good enough. Then you want to tell me, pontificate, tell me exactly what has gone wrong, and I tell you that I'm going to see to address that. Okie dokie do. Starr Radio UK. 6 minutes past the top of the hour. There's the edition of the morning show. When it comes to the doomsaw, they say it's not doomsaw though, but a retired prophetess, 70s, has been burnt to death after doomsaw. What caused it? And in another related story, due to this doomsaw issue that is going on and the fact that the hashtag Fix the Nation, the Country Now, the National Women Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Hannah Bisu, says the party will not be diplomatic in the 2024 election. According to her, the decision to be civil and cooperating resulted in their defeat in the 2020 polls. Speaking to a presenter this morning, the former lawmaker said The party believes that but for the use of military and police, President Akufo-Addo will have lost the election. My apologies. Now, when they come at us with guns and bullets, we will face them with guns and bullets as well. So what? Is she calling for beating the drum of war now? He's going to have a paramilitary wing who will be branding these guns and everything. Well, we'll be looking at all that in a jiffy. It is Starr Radio UK. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll go into details through all the stories that are put across. Welcome once again and continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Enjoy the music.
Play my tessa, opera Archie. Ekeke chuchuta ulopana ku opera Archie. Chimbolo, opera Archie. Pomoni oke shake, opera Archie. Play my tessa, opera Archie. Keje chuchu, chuchuta ulopana ku opera Archie.
owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
During the time of lockdown, we recognise that young people among us could be vulnerable and subject to abuse. This is why Amicus, an organisation that advocates against child sexual abuse, is here to assist the vulnerable amongst us. We have lined up an exciting and educative programmes that can be of help to you. Please check out our website on www.amicus.org for updates of programme. Enjoy a live chat with our team members for advice. Our online counsellors are also available to advise you and signpost you to the right governmental departments. You can reach us on 033 01 33 2415 or email us at info@amicus.org. Confidentiality is key. Thank you.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is 17 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. Now, this afternoon, exactly at 5 o'clock, we'll be having the renewed show by Charlotte Odum. Yes, she's going to be having as a guest Pastor Prophetess Marjorie King. Okay, yes, and they'll be looking at what topic there? Okay, yeah, rebirth. Maybe you have to go back into your mother's womb for you to be birthed again, or maybe your daddy and your mommy has to go and meet again and then give birth. So those who have got their maybe one of their parents dead, or if they are both dead, I don't know how they can be rebirthed. But you want to know more about that? Make sure that you tune in exactly at 5 o'clock when the Renew Show will be taking place. The Renew Show comes away every weekday from 5 to 6 p.m. Okay, and then after that we'll be bringing you the one and only BB Means Business program with BB Clement. Yes, it's going to be a repeat broadcast of what was broadcasted last Tuesday. Make a date with her on that front as well. Then after that, the Property Hour show with KB Botsman and Vicky Newton will be coming your way. Now, if you want, you are looking at, hey, I want to acquire property. Hey, I don't have the means to acquire property. Hey, I have a property, I want to rent it out. What are the rules and the regulations guiding all this? Is there a way where even when you don't have the money, you are able to acquire a property? Well, you want to know more about that? Make sure you tune into that program exactly at 7 o'clock when KB Botsman, Vicky Newton come your way. They always have a special guest coming in. Make sure you are with them. But this afternoon, there's going to be lots of lovely tunes for you. Well, call it Mixed Grill, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing for you as well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davids. Once he is up and ready, he's going to be joining you to bring you his greetings. But let's look at one of the stories making the rounds this morning here in the UK that everyone seemed to be focusing on. I was watching one of the newscasters news programs, and one of the presenters was like, yeah, they're monitoring where the ships were coming from. They said, oh, there's a warship that is coming from France. He said, I hope that nothing is going to happen, because they've already dispatched one of the gunboats, a couple of gunboats here in the UK to go to the island to put, for this French protesters, fishing protesters, that is going on at the moment. But what do you think is going to happen? It just, somebody just bluffing or something. But I've got with me Mr. Frank Davis. Let me say, Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning, and good morning to our listeners, wherever they might be, wherever they are. We welcome them to another edition of the Starr Radio Morning Show. What can we say?
How are you?
Archie, I'm doing very, very well.
Great, great. Well, now, have you followed that story? That news?
I followed that story. Since yesterday. And for those of us who might not be inclined to what we're talking about, EU basically the people could fish in different waters.
Yeah.
And that's because they were viewed as a family and community. And Guernsey and all those areas, these are islands. Seriously speaking, the island, and the French boats fish there a lot. We talk about
they get bumper fishing.
Talk about Gibraltar area too close to. So basically, that's what was happening. No problem until Brexit triggered, which means that control for our waters. And that is a British territory.
Yeah.
And therefore, they're now asking the French boats to get a license
to be able to fish.
To be able to fish in the water. Unfortunately, some of us in Africa give our waters to the petrolists from China for free, without demanding licenses. And the Japanese for free without getting licenses anyway. So the French, I say no. It's too much. The decision is coming too rush, and therefore they decide to organize a protest today and a fleet of boats. Now, because of the relationship that existed between all these countries,
the country's electricity is actually supplied mainly from France through its undersea cables.
Yeah.
Undersea cables. Now they are saying, okay, look, we also have a tool. We will disrupt.
Yeah, disconnect the electric and then we see what
up
happens.
to 90% of the electricity supply is actually
From Jersey.
Yeah, from France area.
Yeah.
So they say they will disrupt the cables. Now, actually, it presents a very, very good opportunity both from the UK and the EU to be able to take steps to forestall certain things. What has guaranteed peace in Europe has been both the UN and the EU.
Yeah.
But part of coming together and other things was a peace, part of a peace architecture that was inbuilt, not to go back to the World War I and World War II that we witnessed. That was I wasn't alive. That the world witnessed. I find a decision that has been taken by our government a bit unfortunate. Why I'm saying this is, look, Archie, we know you want to show support and solidarity.
Yeah.
You want to comfort your island that you are behind them. But you have declared, you have sent warships.
These are gunboats.
Actually, they are warships. Whichever way they call them. They did not to send what they call it
HMS
or what they call it aircraft carriers or other things. You know, these are warships that have been sent to that area. For me, I thought that was an excessive action that was taken by our government. In my view, they might have been doing it to show that, look, we are here, we support you, and we are able to defend the territory against any attack. These people are actually just protesting. Are you getting me? Now the French are now deploying their warship again towards that area. Okay, my guys, if you are protesting, they're bringing warship. We also have a warship. I know nothing is going to happen. Trust me, nothing is going to happen on this. We're going to see diplomatic. Because by now calls are being made. Foreign officers are talking to themselves. These are what they call someone will say that. But in my view, I thought the action by our government was a bit too excessive.
But they're looking at if electricity is disrupted that island, Jersey is going to suffer greatly.
Yeah, but would the warship solve the problem?
Well, if
was it trying to be a visible deterrent?
Yeah,
if it would be a visible, you have planned visible deterrent strategy with these people all this while.
So they know
exactly what you're doing. I mean, if it is visible deterrent, I mean, it is the same thing that you have done with them on the same table. Whichever way you look at it, your security and everything has been designed with them in known for some time now. So how is that going to deter the protesters? For me, I saw it as a bit of provocative action.
But they will tell you that they didn't go to the French waters. They have come to the British waters
to protest.
And the intention that we're going to disrupt the.
But that does not necessitate warships. I do not think so. That is my personal opinion. I do not think so, because what it means is that, look, the French can also decide that any territory that belongs to us, we can also deploy warships over there. And do not forget that there will be a time that the British will need the French. We talk of Calais. What is happening in the border crossing over there?
I think they're going to open the flag. So, everybody, come on.
But they might have done their own thing. Probably they just want to show what do you call it? They say people that, look, we are for you. We are here to protect you. Calm down. Don't panic and all that. If that is the case, then that's fine. But to take a more of an aggressive stand, in my view, was a bit excessive. That is, if you ask me. The first approach probably would have been, I don't know, maybe they've done it. Maybe they've spoken to the French government. Maybe they've done it. Because the French government threatened to basically disrupt this thing, I think that should be a cause for dialogue to start that what is happening, how can we resolve this and others. But to take a very militarized position, for me, is a bit too much.
You know that we're getting to the season where, I mean, the doors are going to be open now. We know that the British like going to France and going to Europe now. Do you think that is going to have a problem, cause any problem from that front?
Archie, that is why we'll scratch my back and scratch your back. That is what we have to look at. Scratch your back and scratch my back. Yeah.
And then when it comes to the Brexit negotiation that has taken place, that means that the French were not satisfied, and we have the Scottish who were not satisfied. We have the Welsh fishermen who were also not satisfied with what had gone on. So I mean that means that we have serious unfinished business that has gone on.
Actually, let's hope that it comes to a conclusion. I mean, these uncharted areas, I mean, post-Brexit is bound to bring a bit of friction, because there's something that these people are not used to. This is something that people don't know exactly how to handle. They've not divorced from any marriage before. But the British, particularly, any marriage that they divorced from, they have managed
to still be there.
To still, I mean, be there. You look at the
eating from the kitchen and everything.
You know, you say they are in the window and sucking out. You prepare your soup and they have a long ladder and they are dishing out, calling you come off and dishing out of your this. So they have actually not had. They might have all the expertise and everything, but this is the first time they are confronted with a situation like that.
Okay.
And expect that as we journey along, we're going to see a bit of, I call it correction, confrontation. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
So there'll be a bit of confrontations. How do we resolve this? Oh, it means that we omitted something in the agreement. Correction mechanisms, and with time, we will come to a peaceful conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. With time, we'll come to a peaceful conclusion. Listeners, Star Radio UK, Mr. Frank Davids for you. Now we're looking at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. Now let's move on to some other stories. Like I said, I will do my best to see if I can post a clip of what Frank showed me and sent to me yesterday, and it's quite intriguing. It's quite intriguing. And if all Africans are going to, or developing countries especially, are going to sit and listen to it, then I can tell you that we can do a U-turn, because we will not go calabash in hand, always begging, and meanwhile we are our own catalysts of destruction. We are actually destroying ourselves, and they are taking advantage of whatever we are doing. I'll try to get that video for you, but it is Star Radio UK. Continue to send your messages through if you have any. Now 11:30 the time, the morning show, the program. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds here in the UK and other parts of the world. Now elections are taking place. Local elections are taking place, as we did talk about yesterday. Now they are talking about the fact that in some polls in Scotland, it looks like the SNP are going to get a majority in parliament, in their parliament.
Actually, it's bound to happen. I mean, post-Brexit, the Brexit has brought in anger. No two ways about that. I mean, if you look at the voting, London, Scotland, if you look at the referendum, London and Scotland, we voted disproportionately against, going for the Brexit. If you look at the polls, we voted disproportionately. Even the Wales voted for Brexit. But London and Scotland disproportionately voted against Brexit. And they've been calling that, look, we do not want Brexit. We want to be, you recall even the SNP leader had to travel during these negotiations to Brussels to try and have a dialogue and negotiation with to see if it is plausible for them to be able to kind of come out with a bit of arrangement between the Scottish, but they couldn't do that because you are still part of a sovereign umbrella. The Queen is still, directly in charge of you, still part of the UK government. So that is bound to happen. And like I said, but for this COVID, it could even be worse. But for this COVID, it could be worse. but this could be worse.
So do you think that they're going to have a referendum ASAP?
It's going to be pressure, but it's going to be a bit of pressure. It's going to be inevitable. I mean, that's a matter of time. I look at the quest for independence, if not a full-fledged, but some kind of an arrangement that goes beyond the devolved administration that they have. I look at it as a pregnant situation. It will one day deliver. Yeah.
Okay. Listeners, it's Star Radio UK 11:32. The time, the morning show. Continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones, and invite them to like our pages. And if you've not done that before, do that today. Do that for us, and we will be very, very grateful. It is the Thursday edition of the morning show. Let's move on to some other stories. Now, yesterday we did talk about patency when it comes to this vaccine, and the fact that some African pharmaceutical companies have the capacity, if they are given that patent right to produce it, and that will help us quickly. I mean, because when it comes to this virus, if we don't fight together, the more you fight by yourself, the more you get one of your arms out there that is going to be infected. But some US is backing the waiver on vaccine patents to boost supply. However, some pharmaceutical companies are thinking that no, that will not work. The US has thrown its support behind a move at the World Trade Organization to temporarily lift patent protection for coronavirus vaccines. Now, India and South Africa proposed the plan, which they said will increase vaccine production around the world. But drugs manufacturers argue it may not have the desired effect. U.S. Trade Representatives Catherine Tai said that extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. How true is it? Do you think that if they waive that, I mean, temporarily, okay, maybe for 1 year, and then we can get the whole world vaccinated? After that, let's go back to...
You see, Archie, I do not... This is it. You look at it this way. Just because you put a carnivore, a carnivorous animal, in a cage, or a situation arises where today decide to hide his teeth, and everybody's making noise. So all animals, let's dance together. All animals, let's dance together. Just because they also came to the party of animals does not mean that they can still not be deadly when they get you. A capitalist-oriented company will always be looking at how to make profit out of this situation, right? Everybody was talking about a pandemic, and therefore really support for this. The public has been able to help in even unveiling themselves to be used as guinea pigs. Right? One would have thought that, okay, the public will also say we're also not taking vaccines, or we're taking one vaccine and we're rejecting the other. We were told, for instance, that AstraZeneca operate at not a profit making this, and therefore they gave the patency to India, for instance, to be producing some of those vaccines, right? Pfizer has not, and the pharmaceutical companies are looking at, which are actually against this. Pfizer is involved, Moderna is involved, Johnson & Johnson are involved. All these
American companies.
Yes, it's about profit motive. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, because even HIV drugs, when companies were ready to even, they claim they are helping Africa, right? But when companies were in a position to produce them, they still wouldn't release this thing. You see, what is troubling about this situation is that a lot of governments put in money to help develop this vaccine. It wasn't like, oh, cancer, and there has been a lot of research or this and that, and then out of the blue, some cure come out. I'm not saying they shouldn't profit from their investment. They should profit from their investment. However, the level of profit must be curtailed. I mean, because if they think that, well, let's perpetuate it, let the disease continue, let us be praying, we'll make when it gets to a point, there will be no one to vaccinate.
Well, it's true.
There will be no one to vaccinate. Are you getting me? Some of us will resort to our pineapple and coronavirus.
Concussion.
Because how long can I continue to take the vaccine? Every year vaccine.
You've been taking other vaccines as well.
But we still await what happened?
Now they say a third dose before you can.
I don't know much about that. So actually, it just tells you that these companies are always, positioned because, and it's not the greed that you see in the human nature. They are a company.
Yeah.
They've seen this as one of the most
lucrative
opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
They want to satisfy their shareholders.
Yeah.
They want to deliver profit. So you can also understand the pressure that is coming on them. Now, what is going to be what the conclusion I predict will be that some governments will now cough up money and say, okay, we'll pay you something for for you to release a patent plan. If not, some of the companies will lose out, and then you increasingly will see AstraZeneca taking the lead, because if they can give
the patency to others
to do, then expect it to happen now. But it just tells you that just because the animal has come to a point where the society is crying doesn't mean that if they get your meat, they will not devour it.
The animal went to church like a tiger going to say it's got what? It's changed now. It's a Christian. The tiger is a Christian, but somebody go to put their hand in their mouth. He said, "Well, I didn't come to catch you. You came to put your hand in my mouth. You think I won't bite? You will bite." Okay. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So in the US Secretary of State has told some news reporters that the US will respond to reckless or aggressive acts by Russia. Now, Anthony Blinken said the U.S. was focused on actions such as treatment of opposition figure Alexei Navalny, the SolarWinds hack, and election interference. We would prefer a more stable and predictable relationship, he said. Mr. Blinken was in the UK for a meeting of foreign ministers of the G7 group of industrialized nations. A statement issued after the two-day talk criticized Moscow for its irresponsible and destabilizing behavior, particularly against Ukraine and cyber attacks. Now, we know the US can do whatever they want to do, but when it comes to Russia, though you are placing sanctions against them, yet they still continue to do what they want, because they want people to also see that they are not a walkover.
Yeah.
So what changes? What new can the Biden administration bring on board?
Actually, there could be a bit of sanctions as well, because if you work with your allies and you are able to, Russia, for instance, supply a lot of gas and other things to Europe.
Yeah.
And we know Biden administration has actually aligned itself more with, in fact, they are in the good books of Europe now more than the Donald Trump administration, because Donald Trump was not a friend of the EU. He wanted to see EU collapse. That's the agenda. And they actually actively backed the Brexit. If you look at Nigel Farage and others, they were part of that group of people who were working against. So Biden administration made it clear, the Democrat made it clear, they were in favor of EU. If left to them alone, UK will still have been. So you're going to see a bit of, if anything at all, coordinated actions coming, because EU also will need them a bit when it comes to Poland area, securing the peace in Poland area and other things. They also have interest over there. Actually, I do not think we're going to get to a point where confrontations it's going to take time. You see a bit of skirmishes, but it will be fringe fights, probably around Ukraine area can be used as a test ground and other things. But you might likely see sanctions coming, but Russia will also respond, and that's what we're going to see. But actually, in my view, let the big boys do what they know what to do.
But when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers.
But at the end of the day, actually, they make money from war is business. All these are business, because the more the tension goes up, the more companies tells you, or the fuel companies tell you that because of the confrontation, because of what is being said, fuel prices are going to go up. So the grass, yes, all of us should be prepared to pay more in our pumps, because if part of fuel supply they're going to use as it's business. Actually, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. It's business.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. 11:41 the time. We're still looking at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. Now we've landed in the Middle East and especially Israel. Now, yesterday we did talk about the fact that, or the day before yesterday, that Netanyahu has not been able to form a government after the elections. But Israel's president has asked the leader of the centrist Yesh Atid party, Yair Lapid, to try to form a government. Now, Rivlin announced that he had given Mr. Lapid the mandate after longtime Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu failed to meet an overnight deadline. Yesh Atid came second to Mr. Netanyahu's right to ring Likud party in March's inconclusive general election. Now, if you talk about a country where they go to elections like no man's business, I'm talking about Israel and Italy. Now, when they go to sleep, they wake up, let's go for election, let's go for election. Interestingly, now Netanyahu wasn't able to form a coalition government,
which is very, very, very instructive, because that man has been long standing, has been there for a very, very, very long time. Now, him not forming a government tells the opposition are not, or the natural allies you call them, are not willing to play ball. He has a case in court. Could that be
corruption case?
Could that be part of what is happening? Could it be that the people want him prosecuted and therefore want him out so that
the office
he can be prosecuted fully? Let's hope the opposition are able to form a government. But that's natural order. If you cannot form, it goes to the second person. If he cannot form, they head over to another penalty.
But that particular part of the world is quite when there is no peace in Israel, it causes lots of things.
It does.
Because the Middle East, the moment it starts shaking, then straight on, you go to the fuel, the pump. Straight, it's impacting you. So, well, we hope that they come out with they have an amicable settlement to it. Maybe a coalition.
They are experts in, like you said about Italy, and they will come out with something. Actually, for me, they are experts in whatever they are doing in terms of form a coalition, not being able to going back to elect polls and other things. A year they can go for election 4 times. So for me, I'm not. When it comes to it, you shouldn't be worried. They will come out of it. They will come up with a solution. Which is good for me. It's good for democracy. It means we're gonna learn to give and take. That this is what you campaign for. Look, common enemy. Let's get him out. Can we come together? Nick and Cameron. Is that what they did to get what do you call it?
Neglect to be listen, and they form the coalition. And then
that is it. That is it.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. We take a commercial break. We come back. We go to the African continent. Now, what's happening there? Jubilation as missing anti-Buhari priest resurfaces. Father Ejike Mbaka had reportedly disappeared days after he called for Nigeria's president to resign. And the Catholic priest or head in Nigeria have decided to suspend him. Now, the thing is, he's just saying that, well, there is insecurity in the country. If you cannot deal with it, you might as well just resign. So somebody can come and see to address the issue. Now, if he says that, has he said anything evil? He didn't say you are. I don't know what they were thinking that he was going to say. But as a priest, has he got a right to critique government? And if he has done that, what he's saying is true. I say if he was telling lies, that is a different ballgame. But if he's telling the truth, then we need to see to how to, that's constructive criticism. Government has to see to how to address it. But we'll be coming back to you in a moment. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Star Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 10 minutes to the top of the hour. That's 10 minutes to 12. Okay, at 12 o'clock, I'll be opening the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions. But before then, if you want to share anything with us for free, go to our Facebook page, post the comments there, or go to our text or WhatsApp and just send us a message on that platform. I'll make sure I read them. Yes. Welcome to the show. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis, and I am Archie, and we're bringing you today this wonderful program, the Star Radio UK Morning Show. Okay, stay tuned and don't you think of going away. Now, moving on to the African continent, the former child soldier jailed for 25 years, Ugandan ex-LRA commander Dominic Ongwenwen's war crime included murder, torture, rape, and sexual enslavement. That's a story that has just come in. I'll be bringing you more on that front. Now, Zulu royals and rebels, the fight for the throne. You remember a couple of is it a week ago?
Yeah.
Or thereabout. The regent also died.
Yeah.
And the king had died and the regent now, so now there is a trouble there. The Zulu monarchy in South Africa has been plunged into controversy following the death of King Goodwill Zwelithini, and weeks later the regent. It has led to a vicious power struggle for the throne. Royals are fighting it out in court. hurling insults in public and fueling rumors of the poisoning of rivals. Okay. Now I know I picked this one up because I know you've hosted. Is it one of the a couple of the kings? There. What do you think? Because it's quite thinking that the regent. How many weeks ago when the husband was buried, the king was buried, and then she is not the eldest when it comes to the queens. I mean, she is not. So do you think there was some foul play in there?
Archie, maybe we can't tell. Maybe we can't tell because at the end of the day, I mean, why did she became when she was in the eldest? And what again you're going to find is that the children, there's going to be a lot of hers. But actually, it speaks again of planning, in my view. The culture should. I mean, if you take the royal family over here, there's a clear written or unwritten how to inherit. Who knows? Prince Charles can marry 10 today. If he decide to marry 10 today, okay, let's assume he end up having a child with Camilla.
Like they're saying that he's had a child. They say there's a love child somewhere.
Well, if it happens, there's no way
it's going to
because do not forget last week when we were talking about the credit child. It applies over here. So Charles could have had a love child somewhere. Officially,
it's not recognized.
It's not recognized. It's not be given blessings and other things. So the queen cannot sanction that as someone who should inherit after Charles, right? The same way, the Zulus should also have, if we know they marry a lot. Okay, it's not one wife, they marry a lot. From that, we should know that, right, if we have 10 wives, the first wife, firstborn, who is a male, becomes someone who automatically inherits. In some cultures in Ghana, for instance, they tell you they move from one, they have sub-clans. So these 10, it could be this Abusiafi. When that king passes away, it will not be the son directly that inherits it, but it goes on. So for instance, if we are from my siblings, today probably my son inherits it. Tomorrow it might be my younger brother's daughter or son who inherits. So it moved from household to household. You recall what nearly happened, was it somewhere in Kwewu, where the queen mother and there was a problem. That was as a direct result of that. I mean, those kind of arrangements. One thing I brings to fore is that though we value our culture, our tradition, we have not, as a people, taken the next step of eliminating potential conflicts that will come after we're dead and gone. Once we go through that struggle and battle and are able to get our throne given to us, we forget to do the needful, which actually resulted in that battle in the first place, for us to ensure that when we're dead and gone, such battles do not reoccur. So I think it's time we have to look at examine and re-examine our cultures and say, where do we need to basically eliminate? What do we need to do to eliminate some of these confrontations? Because it shouldn't be the case. If we know that in a palace the king will have 10 wives, 3 wives, sometimes concubines, give birth and other things from them, who actually is in charge when the king is not there? Can it be that the new wife came and was able to sweet talk?
That's what I was thinking, it
is not a will. It is not a will where the king can decide that, and even that there are things that belongs to the kingdom which are for the society.
For the kingdom, it's not for private.
It's not for the. There are things that are private that your will can cover, but there are others that your will cannot cover. Are you getting? So you cannot sweet talk I mean, what do you call it? The king to make your favorite son. And I think this story has been played countless times in Nigerian movies.
yeah.
It's Nigerian movies. But you know, actually, I think we need to derive some great lessons for some of these occurrences. You know, I mean, her death was a bit of a shock.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's assume if they have evidence to suspect this, I know they'll get to the bottom of it.
Because they were saying that the king in the past, whilst he was alive, on one occasion, King Zwelithini, explaining her absence to the Zulu nation, said she had been poisoned.
Okay.
Because at the point she was not living in Zulu, she went to Eswatini. I think, I don't know how far that place is for like for health condition, but the king was of the view that she has been poisoned, and so now where the king named her in his will to be the regent.
Could it be sweet talking? that is one thing we're gonna look at. I mean, yes, we know the king. Whilst you are alive, you have absolute authority and this thing. But once you are dead and gone, the dead cannot. And do not think that everybody is going to do according to what you say. When they know it's not right. If the culture suggests that, I mean, it's not the young person or whoever you've named, why do you want to go just because you have power at that time? Are you getting me? And sometimes we should be mindful how we look at. Yes, sometimes we look at all those around and see that this is the person that we think is worthy of carrying out the legacy. In that circumstance, I think you should be able to have a constructive discussion before any untimely thing happen.
Now let me digress a bit. Now when it comes to the UK, because we see the royal, the way they bring them up. Now the one who is supposed to be the next heir, they are groomed from childhood.
Yes.
So they know their role.
Yes.
Their siblings might be misbehaving, doing whatever, but they, even if they misbehave, they have a way of protecting them.
You have to fall
in line. Yeah. Do you think that maybe our side, because we've not got things like that, that's why we get all these confusions, and we have some people come in and they have
we don't have a grooming system. It's so that it's not properly and well defined, but we do have a grooming system. Even if you take a traditional, people call it witch doctor, there's a grooming system. If you go to the king and the chief palace, the prince is always close to the dad, and certain things are supposed to be passed on. It's so that our kings and queens and the princes, especially the princesses, there's a bit of influence of modernity where they think and they look at living a lavish kind of life as a prince and a princess is the only thing that matters at those point in time. Look at Prince William. He can live any lavish life that he wants to, but his lifestyle is controlled to a large extent. And you look at Harry's interview. Harry will tell you that they were like prisoners. They are entrapped within a system because they know that is what
they have to do. You can't do that. You can't do. You have to do
that. This is what it means to be a prince. If you want to, are you get me? Now, in our part of the world now, we do not have those clearly defined things happening now. That Princess Izege, you can't do this. Princess Omobi, you can't do this. For them, they go gallivanting and living lavish lives. Are you getting me? That could pose a problem. We've had a situation where people have refused. I know someone who ran away. They never want to be queen. Even up to last year, they sent for her. She said she wasn't going to come.
Oh wow.
She wasn't going to come. Mampong, the lady who was supposed to be a queen.
She
said she will not go.
There's some money there. Go chop some money, man.
No, she said she's not going to go. They've contacted the mother. Mom saying, what do I do to bring her back? She said she will not go.
I remember my dad's story. They had to run away from their magazine to some village.
I think we need to start looking at how we can clearly document some of this and look at what do we do in cases like this. How do we minimize the basically the troubles because it brings acrimony.
Yeah, it does.
It
does.
brings
Serious,
a lot of acrimony, a lot
one.
of problem, and
serious one.
It results in a bit of conflicts that unwanted conflicts or probably avoidable conflicts, if I want to put it that way.
Okay, listeners, it is 12:01, and I can tell you shortly that the lines are opened. You can call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you're in US or Canada, it is 0017183032737. 0017183032737. You can text or WhatsApp us. It is 07539661744. 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. But I promise you that video I'll be playing, and then we can go on a discussion on that path. And this time round, let's touch on this story briefly, and we can go to the Nigerian priest story there. A Ugandan former child soldier who became a commander of the rebel Lord's Resistance Army has been sentenced to 25 years in jail by the International Criminal Court. Dominic Ongwen, known as the White Ant, was convicted in February of more than 60 crimes, including murder, torture, rape, and sexual enslavement. Now, prosecutors argued that Mr. Ongwen received a lower prison term because he had been abducted by the LRA as a child. The rebel movement was formed more than 30 years ago, operating in Uganda and neighboring countries. It mutilated people by cutting off parts of their faces. And now it took the ICC to sentence him.
Yeah. Archie, I'm not a fan of ICC. To a large extent, I wish that we do not have to send people there. But the question again is, when we have demonstrated that we've been grossly ineffective in dealing with the ills within our own folks, what do we do? What do we do? I mean, at the end of the day, it serves as an example to people who might take guns and arms, and as a result innocent people suffer. You might have grievances. I'm not. Wars will always be there. There will come conflicts, will always be there. But the high level, that's why even battlefield for military people will tell you there are certain engagement that you do not shoot dead even your enemy. But when it gets to a point where you now have to start going to a point where killing people, that could be normal. But chopping people's limbs off, arms off, cutting part of their faces off, and other thing. Actually, I think a strong signal needs to be saying that humanity as we have it today cannot accept that. You might be a rebel today taking command, but know that when you engage in certain things, the future might catch up with you. And I'm happy that he's been sentenced.
Okay. All right, now let's move on to another story. Now, protesters in southeastern Nigeria city of Enugu went into wild jubilation after a popular Catholic priest was seen hours after protests were held over his absence. Now, Father Mbaka reportedly went missing just days after he called for President Muhammadu Buhari's resignation over rising insecurity in the country in a widely shared video. Now, while it was not clear where he was coming from, Father Ejike Mbaka emerged to the protesters from a car and acknowledged cheers from the crowd. He promptly re-entered his car without making any comments. Now, earlier on Wednesday morning, Father Mbaka's followers had marched in protest to the residence of Bishop of Enugu, Calixtus Valentine Onaga, the priest superior. They demanded to see the priest who had been absent during the weekly mass at his adoration ministry's ground in Emene area of the city. Now, his church workers had told faithfuls gathered at his adoration ground for the usual weekly prayer meeting that they had not seen him from the time when he had told them he was going to meet the bishop 2 days earlier. He is known to be a controversial and popular Catholic priest with strong political views. He has been in the crosshairs of the government after he took the unusual stance against President Buhari, whom he had openly supported in 2015 and 2019 elections. The presidency had responded alleging that he changed his position after his requests for contracts were turned down. The priest denied the allegation. Give a dog a bad name. Okay, now let's bring this other story still in. Now, in line with that, the Catholic Diocese of Enugu has suspended Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka from church activities for 1 month as the controversial priest's political escapades continue to overshadow his theological obligations on a scale that nurtures unending concerns among his senior clerics. Now, let's end there. Now, first of all, if whilst you are sitting down, you lean back, and I'm telling you, Frank, you are leaning back. I'm not saying it arrogantly. Is it wrong?
It's not wrong, but actually, I think what might have triggered the suspension would not be what he said. Because in that story, there's a line there from the presidency that he changed his position after
they failed to give me a contract.
That for me is very serious enough for any organization worth the salt and a church to take serious look at such comments. Now, if he openly supported Buhari, the question is what caused the change? And if there's evidence that he actually started speaking against the government, yet there are ills in the society. But the question is, if he had been given that contract, would he be bold enough to speak against the government the way he has done recently? If there's evidence that he sought to obtain or get a contract and he was deprived or denied and thereafter changed his position, I think the suspension should even go further, because he would have compromised
his position.
Because he is using the pulpit, he's using the people who come to the church, because he's in a position for authority, so to say. He's using that to his advantage. It's to profit personally. To me, that is a very serious charge enough.
But if it's not, I mean, and we find it that because of his criticism, because I was supporting you, now I see that the insecurity that's going on in the country is such that hey, your best is not good enough, and I'm telling you that look, you cannot do that.
That would have been absolutely on point. That even from the pulpit, you can actually speak about the ills. In fact, they are leaders and they are supposed to call their attention. Some of the members of those churches will be working within the government, and it should be very responsible to see that members are suffering, and all you want us to do is prayers when you can speak and call and speak to power. That absolutely is right, and it's up to him now to prove to the world and to the people of Nigeria that indeed I did not go seeking or asking for contract, but the government is trying to free me up. And let's see what the government has on him if there's evidence. But if there's evidence that he went seeking contract, I think the suspension should be extended, if possible, terminated.
Okay. Well, listeners, it's 10 minutes past 12 now. If you have any take on these issues that we've discussed so far, feel free, post your comments, or you can call in and share your take with us. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin there as well. But let's look at this one other story, and then I'll bring you the tape, and then we'll go on to that discussion. Are Africans, are we our own enemies, like they say in the Ghanaian parlance? Are we doing ourselves? We'll be looking at that. Now, in Ghana at the moment, we have this hashtag that is trending. Hashtag fix the country now. And it's like, you know, I took that story after this Nigerian story because you see the Nigerian press who maybe was hailing, hey, Buhari is because the way he was coming, when he was coming in, I'm going to do that, and say that yeah, let's get him, and he got in there, assuming everything that is being said about him is not true, that he didn't do it. Then you know that constructive criticism or looking at the experience that people on the ground are facing is based on that he's making this assertion that look, you either get on with it or get out. So now people are calling for the government to fix the country now, but it looks like Well, the government is saying that, you know what? It is the opposition party that is, fanning this flame. And one of the outspoken members of the MPP, that's Kennedy Japan, has come to say that well, they shouldn't bother about this, but that is what exactly the NDC did when they had President Mills as a candidate. Then they just chant out lies and stuff like that, and then made the people, go on their side with them to get the MPP out. So that is the same thing that they are doing. But just a couple of days ago, I think we talked about the increment in petrol prices, and I think last week we did talk about increment in cement prices, and everything just keep on going up. The cost of living is higher now. People have not seen a change in their wages or their income, and government is saying that it's going to take more tax from them.
Archie, it gets to a point. People need to expect the inevitable change. And the change that, from what I'm picking up with witnessing in Ghana, for me, is very constructive, it's very informative, and it's very helpful. Actually, I can tell you on authority that prior to 2016 elections, the likes of Franklin Kujo were in bed with MPP. I can tell you on authority, and this is as a matter of public record, Captain Smart has advocated several times for MPP. I read you something that what do you call it? Franklin Kujo posted this morning on his Facebook page.
Okay.
I read. It says, had a worrying conversation with Captain Smart moments ago. His boss, this Angel, his boss, Angel's daughter is one of the MPs. His boss has asked him to go off air for a while as a result of undue pressure that has been piled on him by high-ranking officials in government. Captain Smart's crime is that his usual critical commentary on national affairs is making government unpopular. Really? I hope it is not some overzealous politician who made those calls. Either way, it paints a gravely intolerant picture. I'd fix it now. Alright. Captain Smart is someone who we know is an MPP man. And here's the case. Last 2 weeks, he went all out about this Galamsey issue, calling on the president that your Chebi itself, this Galamsey go on.
Eastern region.
Not even Eastern region, his hometown, that there's Galamsey going on. So if you want to demonstrate that you want to fight Galamsey,
charity begins at home.
Start it from your next door. Here we are again. That people from Jubilee House, security attacked them, were greatly involved in Galamsey. All these and others are not going well with the government. Now, if the government it's the usual kind of thing, I beg to differ. I had a video sent to me yesterday. I'm not going to mention the name of the person who sent the video, but a lady who campaigned for MPP saying, I've had enough. We trusted, we believed Nana Akufo-Addo, but all was a lie. And she questioned. But for the tag of him being the tribal tag, what do they have against him? Because she who campaigned against the man cannot pinpoint today why he opted for Nana Akufo-Addo, apart from the promises. And it's okay if Nana Akufo-Addo, who we all held, claim he could have fixed it, made it better, and things are not the way we promised and still have a problem, he is bound to speak out. She sent 2 videos out, and this is a person who worked and campaigned for Nana Akufo-Addo. So Canada Japan should not think it is the same. And NDC cannot position itself to think that they are profiting from this, because what has come to bear is that anyone who comes to tell you that I helped Jesus carry the cross of Jesus will have to demonstrate a mark or have to produce a picture to say that given the opportunity and given the weight of that cross, they'll be able to carry the problem, go the distance Jesus couldn't go. So any politician that who now come, people are now becoming wise enough to be able to question that you say you do this, prove to us. So Canada Japan shouldn't think it's going to be politics as normal. Actually, the trend that we are witnessing in Ghana, I'm happy that it's going this way. That people who are in bed or who campaign for the, or someone say, oh, because they didn't get it. Yes, they didn't get appointment. No, we shouldn't get to a point where we must all have to feed into government. No. Create an humble environment for people to flourish.
Doesn't matter what party or wherever they are in the country, they should be able.
I had a call last week from one lecturer. This is a man who 100 years will not vote for even Mahama. He despises Mahama to a point that he wouldn't. He was. I mean, there was no way you could have asked him to put a finger on man. I'm not talking about Mahama's just as an individual, but he didn't like them. He didn't like this. Yeah. He called me and said, "Look, from the look of things, I'm part of Ghana's problem because I made a grave mistake. From what I can see now, I say, you know what? It wasn't a mistake. It's a lesson we all learn." And for me, I keep on saying it's a blessing to Ghanaians that Nana Akufo-Addo was voted into power. And it's from the look of things, it's a blessing that he won the second term.
Okay.
Because I did not want a second term, they will say, we told you.
Yeah,
now that we moved that, we could have done this. Now, do you know what is happening? Do you know Baumia and Gabriel Chidaku promised that they will swap, what do you call it, Okada? They will give them one Okada, one car. Do you know the promise?
Me, I didn't hear that.
All right. They told them, you see, when the issue about licensing of Okadas came in, they vehemently said no. The Okada people should give them opportunity. When they give them opportunity, they will provide credit, they will provide them cars so that they can pay installment to make Okada business out of it. So we'll give you cars. So it became one Okada, one car. Now the Okada group are now calling on government. Hello,
where is the car?
We want our cars. Are you getting me? We want our cars. Actually, there's more to come.
More to come. Now, looking at the whole thing, I mean, I will bring you the video in a moment, please. Just bear with me. It looks like when Mahama was, also campaigning to come into power, they had all the plans. Now they come in, and then you see along the line, things seem to be fizzling out. Now we have Nanado, who was campaigning, and we were thinking, whoa, this man, when he comes in, we're going to say something. He comes in, and then it's like the whole strength or all that vim has been just siphoned out of him. Now my question is that is there something there that when the people, those individuals, when they are campaigning with all the promises said, you see that some of them have got a heart to actually do something, but they get there and it changes. Is it that just because our corrupts?
The question is, the issue here is this. One thing that I think nature did that sometimes we don't know why, but I mean, assuming I could see through your brains now what you're thinking, it would have been easier to deal with you.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
Very easy.
You know, this is the break.
It would have been easy, to deal with you. But nature has hidden that from us. So when Akufo-Addo was saying, "I'll transform Ghana in 18 months," who knows he was just playing politics so that he could get power to come and enrich himself. He could be lying to us. He had a plan, he told us. He stood up and told us that we're sitting on money and we are hungry. Now the question people are asking is, so where's the money that we're sitting on? Baumia is on record to have told us that, look, I've worked at the Bank of Ghana. I know the money is there, but it's the people managing it. We don't need to borrow. Here the same person a few years later come to tell you that we need to borrow and we need to. Actually, it is about they've raped our ignorance for far too long. That we do not hold them accountable, we do not ask questions, we do not interrogate what they say, and they've deployed a lot of tribal politics to enrich themselves, and that's coming from all the politicians. It's a political classism. Yesterday when this hashtag fix this thing was going on, someone posted a comment somewhere. When we're talking about, or when people are complaining about what is happening, let me see if I'll say what the person came and posted. And it will not work because people are now more awake than they were even a year ago. Now, they were looking at making Muhammad the center of everything. It's because of Muhammad that's why this is happening. It's because of Muhammad that's why this is happening. I asked myself, hello, if Ghanaians voted for you to be telling them about Muhammad, then leave so that they can see Muhammad and be criticizing him. Resign and go. Are you get me? They tested Muhammad. They knew at that very point in time, because of the promises you gave them, they wanted to test you out, right? Now they've tested you out. You are coming to tell them again about Muhammad instead of you fixing the problem. Archie, you get what I'm saying? But you see, Archie, I'm happy things are happening this way. Here we are. What do you call it? Hamid, just before the election, say Dumso will be back if Muhammad wins 2020 polls. Are we having Dumso? Yes.
The spirit of Muhammad is there. That is why.
Archie.
Blame it. I mean, you have to find a way. like the conservatives here. Anything about the economy is labor. It's labor.
I read you something here. On May 26, 2009. That's 2009. Who was the president?
2009. That was
Professor Mills.
That
was 3 months, just 3-4 months after he's taking over. I read you a quote and tell me who said. Quote, I said to President Mills today, if you say the system is broke, fix it. Excuses can never be a substitute for vision and purposeful action, and can never lead to the better Ghana we were promised. Quiz, whose quote is that? You want me to take it again?
No, I got it. Quote, but I'm trying to see.
I say to President Mills today, if you say the system is broke, fix it. Excuses can never be a substitute for vision and purposeful action, and can never lead to the better Ghana we were promised. Unquote.
Maybe Nanado said that.
Correct for 100%.
Hey!
Archie, this is it. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now Ghanaians are calling you to fix their water.
They said fix yourself.
Fix the electricity. Fix the roads. Right? Fix the hunger. Fix the unemployment. And you are not blaming someone? When that is exact words
that you use,
calling on someone who was the president at that time to fix it. How can someone turn on the tap now and sell chocolate, milk, what do you call it? Not even chocolate coming out of water
without milk? Now you have to go and find money to buy milk.
How can that happen?
Wow.
Are you getting me? Because of Galamsey and other stuff?
Yeah.
That everything you promise people. I mean, actually, you know what? But it's very good. Ghanaians, we will learn, and probably in future, when someone present themselves to us, I love. I was the one who caused Jesus to be resurrected, right? But the Jesus that you knew, it was my power that resurrected him. We'll tell you first. Let's kill you so you can resurrect.
When you resurrect, then we know. Well, listen to Starr Radio UK 1236. Akofi Ali says that, please start the elimination of the evil in your culture with Trokosi tradition. It stinks. Yo, Kofi, we hear you. And then when it comes to the Zulu, he said, what has the Zulu thing got to do with making of aeroplane? While you stop, when will you stop this primitive thing and become modern people? Now, why serious-minded people are doing everything to do away with primitive systems of government, you are promoting it. Okay, Kofi, thank you very much. I know that you don't believe in culture. Now, people have their own culture that they practice.
Actually, you see, sometimes Kofi uses certain words that I disagree with, and I take exception to some of those words I use. He's not better than the people of Zulu. Not better than the people of Igbo culture. Culture is a way of life, and when people adore their culture, it's either you agree with or disagree, but respect them for what they do. You cannot. The Thai people, are they not developed? Yeah. The Thailand people, are they not developed? Yeah. Don't they have a strong discipline with their royal system? Yeah, they do. The Brunei people, don't they have that? Yeah. So the Saudis and all those. We cannot say that our underdevelopment is caused by our chieftaincy institutions. We do know problems exist over there, but to grossly conclude that it is as a direct result of this, that is what has a king got to do with what you learn at school and the building of planes? Are you getting me? So some of those comments, we take exception to them because you insulting the people. That they are primitive, that's why they are still practicing, or that's why they still observe and respect their culture. In this country, don't they have, what do you think the queen is? What has led to the queen being there? Is it because he rides in they say he rides in limousine and someone sits on the chariot and all that, someone sits on a leopard skin? Tomorrow he should listen to Kim Bugani to educate him. Okay. Tomorrow 3 o'clock Kofi, be a guest on the roots of Africa and get some education. I think that's why the Root of Africa is a very good. That program is a very, very good one, because some of us don't have proper insight into these institutions and the role they play. So we invite you to listen to that program. After that, you can make your mind. Now, it is Starr Radio UK 1229. Now I'm going to bring you the video that I said I watched. Frank sent to me yesterday. Now we're going to listen to that, and after that, we're going to have a discussion. Now, are we our own enemies? Jesus said something. He said, a man's enemy is from within. Now, are we our own enemies? Now, we've been blaming our former colonial masters. This morning we've been spoken about that, and we've been blaming the West for maybe taking undue advantage of us. But when somebody is given a contract to go and sign, and the person does not actually scrutinize the content of that contract and just decide to because it's going to get some brown envelope, just get on with it and just sign something and just take some money and just moves on, then what do you think is going to happen on that front? As Sister Gina says, we are learning the hard way. Of course, next time an election comes, we hope that they don't learn the hard way. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Starr Radio UK. Let's take this video and we'll come to you.
Thomas Sankara in 1987, he was eliminated by Blaise Compaoré. You come to Central African Republic, there's David Daku. David Daku was to change the nation in another dimension, but a man called Bokasawa used to eliminate him. You go down to Congo Brazzaville, there's this guy called Maro Ngouabi. Ngouabi also was eliminated through a coup d'etat. Now, if you go down to Guinea Equatorial here, there was this guy called Masias Ngema. It was his own cousin, Obiangema Basoko, that was used to eliminate him. You go down to Ghana, Osage from Kwame Nkrumah had a good intention for the nation. It was Kotoko, his own clear neighbor, that eliminated him. You go to Nigeria, the guys of Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were eliminated by people close to them. Now, if you put it in a nutshell, you go to Mozambique, Samora Moise Machel, it was his close partner that eliminated him. The West, and I repeat, will never and ever have access to Africa until they use Africans. That's why I say what is eating the bean seed is within the bean seed. Africans are full with greed, full with ethnocracy, tribalism, and nepotism. And if nothing is done, we will keep on killing our best every year. As I talk to you recently, I would guarantee you all shorty that this guy Magufuli has convinced us against once more that Africa does not need any support out of the country. Lazarus Chakwera, in his 8-minute speech commemorating the death of Magufuli, he said, the unpredictable Magufuli. They did not know that leadership could run in Africa without money being borrowed from International Monetary Fund, because they did not know Magufuli was coming. They did not know that projects could be set up and executed on time, because they did not know Magufuli was coming. They did not know that somebody could not pay attention to General Assembly of the United Nations. They did not know Magufuli was coming. African presidents have given us the impression that you must borrow to succeed. Before Magufuli came to power, most of the mines in Tanzania were privatized. But what he did was that he came back and then sanctioned the foreign companies that were mining in Tanzania until 16% of those particular mines were given back as ownership back to Tanzania. A scenario occurred in Zambia. Zambia is the best producer of copper. You have the copper belt in Zambia. Zambia sold that copper belt to an American firm upfront without payment, that they will exploit the copper and pay them later. American firm came, took that particular copper belt, turned it within 2 years and paid the money upfront, and is giving Zambia a 0.00 something percent as royalty for their mine. Was that colonialism? It is talking about stupidity and poor management. Who brought gun to give that copper belt to America? Nobody brought gun. When last did you see Europeans using prestation, assimilation, or indirect rule in Africa? It's no longer there. Let us consider the fact that they are taking a greater chunk of our resources. The balance we have here is very possible for us to manage those things. How can a man come in 5 years' time without borrowing a dime from International Monetary Fund, a dime from World Bank? He was able to restore 6 aircrafts into the Tanzania airline. He was able to build bridges, build railway, restore back the Julius Nyerere hydroelectricity project that could give Tanzania 99% guarantee of electricity throughout the year without borrowing a dime. China proposed to borrow him 10 billion to reconstruct and expand the port in Dar es Salaam. He refused, yet the port was under extension. Where did he get the money? That's what we are talking about. A man that came and gave free education to all government schools in Tanzania. Mr. Leo, 20,000 ghost workers were discovered. That's where our money is going through. That's not colonialism. He also arrested 14,000 unqualified workers in the government. Those 34,000 persons who were earning salary they did not merit is what was melting down the economy. It was not a colonial master. I think if we go down to most African countries, there are people who are earning salaries that do not exist in the government. Where is colonialism in all these things I have outlined? A man who said that education is free for girls, but the moment you become pregnant, your family will start paying fees. A nice way of fighting moral decadence. Who are we going to blame? Where did he get the money? He came and saw the hospital. President now goes down to the hospital. Beds were scattered, rotting. Patients were sleeping on the floor. He fired the entire medical staff and gave them 1 month to repair all the beds in Tanzania. And suddenly from nowhere, the beds were repaired in the space of 2 months. Okay.
Well, I hope you heard what this wonderful man, I couldn't get his name, but what he's saying, he's talking about who is spoiling Africa. And like he narrated, he said that the bean, the bean, when you get the bean rotten, or it is something from within that is causing it to be destroyed without. Okay, so the first question is, he was using Magufuli a lot as an example. Now, you like following Magufuli before his demise. Did he ever take a loan from other countries, from countries outside to help? I mean, I know you've been advocating for. You said, yeah, if you go take a loan and it can be used for something, why not get it? Now, did Magufuli go for a loan at all?
Actually, not that we know of those major loans, not as we know, but that even might not be the essence of what this man is trying to say, because at the end of the day, even if we are taking the loan, what did he use that loan for? Okay. Judiciously. Yeah. Now, one thing we do know is that he was a bit of Pan-Africanist. And again, from what, let me go back to the message Kofi said, Kofi sent earlier on. Magufuli had his faults.
Yeah.
He had his weaknesses, like every human being we do. But he was a believer in African customs, a devout Catholic, but still made room, a huge room for our culture. He respected our culture to the extent that he honored kings and queens.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. He told the path of what we can now celebrate as an example. So even if culture alone was what actually is our problem, Magufuli will not be spoken about today like someone who we should be. I mean, here.
Yeah.
The example the man gave about Zambia, what did the chiefs have to do with someone handing over a port?
Yeah.
A mine.
A mine. Copper mine.
To Americans. Now, the man is speaking about us taking an introspection of ourselves. Yes, we know the world order has created a system that gives us unfavorable conditions, unfavorable trade conditions, and a lot of things we are disadvantaged. That said, even if they've stolen 90 from us, the 10 that is left,
what have we used?
What have we used it? And that is a very, very critical question. Actually, how many times have we not heard ghost names being taken out of this thing? Ghana, every administration that comes, these are ghost names. So you ask yourself, how many times will the ghosts? Are you getting what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They resurface.
I think they have a caller.
Yes, we have a caller. Let's go quickly, and then we continue with the conversation. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. And you?
Frank, my brother, how are you, Frank?
Well, I'm doing very well, Kofi.
Good. And Father, the only station I listen to is Starr FM. And I don't listen to any. I've stopped listening to almost all, except Starr FM.
Thank you very much, Kofi.
And the reason is one reason. I don't only listen to Starr FM, I also watch them on Facebook.
Right.
Thank you.
I see serious-minded people sitting in a modern way, the way I want my son, my daughter to be. Very neatly dressed. No confusion. You can see them, modern people. Sometimes, you understand, when I say sometimes, I'll be sometimes say a bit slightly casual, which is even not common. And when these guys are dressing, look, to wear certain kind of clothing, suit and sword, it's not out of convenience, it's actually out of inconvenience. Take your time to go and look for your time. You could have taken your budu and put it on and run into the studio, save time. But no, these guys have got standard, and when you look at them, you say yes. BBC, CNN, all this international radio, wallahi, when you put Starr FM and they look at it, say this is a standard. The language is modern. You can hear them consistently. The official and formal language of this country is what they use. So you can see you are dealing with serious-minded people. This is cultural. That is what I call culture, because it allows people to see that yes, these are serious-minded people doing what people do. Because that is value to me. And to me, that is culture. Sometimes we tend to have different understanding. Some people just thought when you say culture is a way of life, even if it has no value, even if it's of no value, we must keep it. Why? Because our ancestors did it. And that is where the danger is. Those kind of people will find it difficult to leave riding of camels and start driving car. Why? Because their ancestors at that time, in London here, there used to be a car time, no car, no car. It is horses they ride here. Today, where are the horses? So culture do change. Culture cannot be permanent. Let me ask, now I'm being personal. My brother Frank.
Yeah.
I know you have an idea about what is Trokosi.
Mm-hmm.
Is Trokosi still going on in Ghana or is not going on in Ghana?
Kofi, to the best of my knowledge, they are doing everything possible to get rid of that system.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last time they made it a criminal offense according to law. So if it still exists, it's criminal. But I do know that culture has been stopped.
Yeah.
The Trokosi system as it used to be has stopped.
Well, for your information, there are documentaries still coming out. The system, in fact, a person known to be a director is a fetish priest, you understand, because his father was one. But today, he's a director in the Ministry of Education, and he has there were a documentary on it. It's recently. Nobody can do anything because we believe it's part of our culture and our tradition. And we are saying that certain practices in this country where we are here in the United Kingdom, it's not everybody who like this royal system. But they can't come out because the thing has been modernized. It is connected to the system of government. The Queen played the ceremonial role. The Prime Minister played the political business. And the Parliament and everything, they are connected to the royals.
Yeah.
And so, while in France, they cut their own king and beheaded him. They killed the king of France. Go and check. In Germany, they chased all of them. In China, they chased all of them. In our case now, here we are. Some of us are in Ireland. No, don't go too far. Go there and ask them, will they want monarchy? They say no. So in our case, we have so many of them, we call them chiefs. It sounds like those of us who think that thing must stop, we are evil.
Okay, cool.
Why must I have an MP? I'm coming. Okay. Why do we have an MP going to Parliament to make law to change the laws of Ghana? And you have Nana sitting there with his own people fighting with the mayor that he wants to control Kumasi.
Okay.
Kofi,
let me
let Frank come in and then
the president has appointed somebody there. The president the people of Ghana voted for.
Kofi, let me come in here. Sometimes we to a large extent we've copied blindly to our detriment. Development is a process, just like the way culture go through transition changes. Development is also going through processes. I recall a few weeks ago, for instance, when I spoke to one of the kings from Uganda, and on the program, The Roots of Africa, and where we were looking at changes, modernity, what is happening in culture, you will come to understand clearly that even those institutions are evolving fast. Most of our kings and queens today are well educated. Most of our kings and queens today are business-minded people. I give a classic example. When you go to the Mampong area, you go to Wenchi area.
The Mampong, he is the working at the University of University of Science.
Let me go to Sunyani area. They came over there. I mean, last 2 years he was in London. We did something. I mean, they are taking steps to do things different. They cannot Trokosi that might exist, that Kofi mad. What we talk about today, it does not exist. We cannot expect kind of a bank, like boom, everything must change. No, those are institutions that weigh power. They are linked to the way the people live. They will change gradually. You take an issue about by force marriage in Uganda, for instance. The kings themselves, in fact, they work closely with the government. They help in the administration of certain. So the chiefs have agents that collect taxes, accountable, and they fund certain projects within their area. The balance between the authorities, the political elite, and the traditional institution has actually been well defined in those in those areas. So they themselves, you can't be a chief now and expect that you can go and marry someone who is underage. We didn't used to know that in this country. Do you know that even marrying at 16 is allowed?
Wait. You know there's the problem here.
Kofi, let him land and then you come in, please. Please, thank you.
Do you this country, even marrying and 16 years is still allowed with consent? In Uganda, cultural system that we talk of, if you are not 18, you cannot marry. So yes, the kind of culture that when we talk of culture, we're not talking about institution that existed 2,000 years ago or 20 years ago. We're talking about the way a group of people live today. And if you check from history, each of them has gone through transition and is still going through evolution. The change might not be fast enough the way some of us want it, but we must not disrespect such institutions that because we want it in certain way.
Kofi.
Thank you. You see, this is the voice of those who want this thing to continue the way it is. And now, those of us who think this thing, we don't even want to see it again in our life. For thousands of years, they've done their thing, they should go. I think we need to also be heard. And when those people, Frank in particular, are promoting what they are promoting, I think they should be patient to listen to us too. That is why you will not allow any fight to happen. We've listened to this man for hours talking. I have just come in a little time. He has taken it and gone wild with it. Now listen to what I'm saying here. What we are doing, you understand? We want, like, if you call yourself a Christian, there were times before the people used to have a way of choosing their kings under Saul. Then there came a time when they went to the priest to tell them, no, we want to choose our own king. We don't want the one God is choosing for us. You remember that story?
Yeah.
Although they ended up with Absalom and so on and so forth. But that is our story. The story of Jesus and Moses is all about what was there before that they disagree with. And they want something new and better. Now, the so-called chiefs and traditional fathers and God, whatever, it's a family thing. Alternatively, we want development in our community. So we, the people, want to choose. That is why we have democracy. You find it difficult to understand that this thing called democracy is now part of our culture. I know you will not understand that one. So to you, when you are talking about culture, you are talking about the olden system we used to use, where a member of family, maybe his father was the chief that led them to war, and they won. And so the father became the organizer of the people, so the land went to him and he was organizing the community, and his children came and they are inheriting it. And some of us are saying we have enough of that one. Now we are a new type of people. We want to go into development, and we want to give everyone equal opportunity. Whoever you are, sell yourself to the people. The land belongs to the government of Ghana. We are all owners of the government. You want to buy land? Buy land. And then some people are saying, no. And anytime we go for election, you see one tribe here, the other tribe here, those ones claim they are right, that one, and then before you know, they start clashing. It's not in Ghana.
Let me ask you a question. Are you you're talking about development? Is educating a child part of development?
Yes.
Okay, now, if a king uses his power to establish an education fund that give people scholarship, have they contributed towards development?
They have not contributed.
No. Have they've not contributed to your development, right?
They have only, you see, you do not use illegality to make something legal. You don't use what is wrong to do what is right. That's what you want to do here. Listen to me carefully. All the people of Ghana, our understanding is that we are electing a president, there will be members of parliament, there will be Ministry of Education. They are those to provide this thing. Simple as ABC. Listen, we went for election and everyone participated in that election and we voted. When we voted, those who voted for are those to do it. If they don't do it, we hold them accountable. What has chief got to do with this?
So, maybe you want us to be voting for our lawyers as well.
Listen to me. Hello. When they are choosing the chief, you go there. It is some dodgy people, some shoddy people, some criminals in one room.
Wow.
They did.
Kofi.
I'm coming.
No, you can't say that. I withdraw that.
Okay, we withdraw it so that we can talk.
Kofi, please, let me, Kofi, Archie, wait. Kofi,
look,
we are addressing people.
Wait, it looks like you are benefiting from this evil, honestly.
No. Kofi, don't say that.
I will not take that. We can't take that on air, okay? Kofi, please, okay? We can't take that. You cannot insult the chieftaincy institution like that. I don't belong.
It's not a royal. We don't belong. And no royal is paying us here.
Actually, let's move on, please.
Okay, we move on. We've got only 8 minutes to run up. It is Starr Radio UK. Kofi, sorry, I need to cut your line from there. Okay, now let's come back to the story that we were looking at before Kofi came in. As whether we Africans we are our own. The cause of our own destruction and our own development.
Actually, to a large extent, we've been part of it. I mean, we will say, and that's what we normally. Anytime I'm making such meeting and come to independence, and if you look at the Duduwa story, for instance, what we've been talking about, that look, post-independent Africa, we have actually been in charge of our own affairs. I am not going to rule out the external arm, that the long arm that those who actually colonize us still have on, and the influence they still have on our policies, and to a large extent the way we do things. But to a large extent, a lot of things that we've done, a lot of our underdevelopment has been our own doing. If a minister refuses to use money to construct a borehole,
what has the person done?
The person who actually colonized you had absolutely nothing to do with that. Are you getting me? So actually, we are part of our problem. We're part of the problem. We contributed to it, and if no one is going to solve it for us until we get to a point where we have, I've also said, what we need now probably a vaccine that will change our way of thinking.
I think I need to get some scientists to develop something, do some research into that, and develop a vaccine of the sort.
A vaccine that will basically change the way we think, the way we look at things. I agree with whatever the man said. To a large extent, he's on point, and he was very critical about it. To a large extent, I mean, when you go to borrow money from IMF, go to raise a bond, the person give you money ask you to come and use part of the money to do kinky party? No.
Somebody say just a little amount.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe it's his own money that he used for the
kinky. If you take £1 million, you take 1p out of it.
It's no more a million.
So if your budget that you're going to use a 1 million to construct a road, and you take 1p out of it, it's not a little. Assuming everybody takes 1p, and 1 million people take 1p. Where are we getting to?
Wow.
1 million people take 1p. That would be 100,000 gone out of the money. Are you getting me? So I mean, it cannot be that 1p is a little amount and therefore no. So to a large extent, we are our own enemies.
Because you look at various coup d'etats that have taken place. You look at the overthrowing of Kwame Nkrumah and a few of them. Who were the architects behind it? We had the West who was supporting, but they didn't come invade us and then did that to us. They use our own.
What is happening in Nigeria? What is happening in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and all those people now? It's a long. I do not recall any news item that tells us that the people who were kidnapped by a British born person, or probably someone the Queen has said to go and kidnap Nigerians. The kidnapping has been done by our own brothers and sisters. Are you getting me? Almost all the I don't remember the last time I read the Auditor General's report, and I come to a point to names over there that these are people who the governor who used to be there sent to, has caused to siphon money out. All the names are brothers and sisters who are actually managing the system. People we've entrusted with our responsibilities. With our responsibility. Now the Galamsey issue now, those who are mining.
They'll tell you the Chinese are doing that, but who are the ones in the forefront?
The one those are the forefront are the Wuntumis and they are our brothers and sisters. So to a large extent, we are architects of our own underdevelopment and our own doing. Yes, I'm saying the fundamental issues about the influence, but we can change it. We can change it. And Rwanda, what have they done different? It's because they've taken certain decisions. And by the way, we still have a bit of chiefs that are present in Rwanda. We do have them. Are you getting me? So the likes of Kofi who think Republican agenda should be everything everybody should accept. It's a gradual. These are not situations where we think that do away with all the achievements
overnight we just change everything and then we
no. Actually, I asked that question because if you look at Otumfo Education Fund, he has been able to use his influence to establish an education fund that people have contributed to, and a lot of people have benefited from that. That's why I was asking a direct question: is sponsoring a child or acquiring education, what do you call it, part of development? You say yes, but in other way you are condemning. And he's not the only one. We've seen chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Look, the what do you call it? The one who died a month ago.
Yeah.
The Zulu kid. When HIV, when HIV was ravaging that country, Archie, doctors were even afraid to go to that area. This was a man who took it upon himself, made facilities available, trained people, got involved, directly involved in administering how health systems should be run to a point to reduce the issue. Are you get me? We know the excesses of every institution. Chieftaincy have excesses. The political system has read and trained some corrupt and criminal
elements in there.
Over there. Are you getting me? Should we therefore say democratic, dispensation that we're enjoying, we should chuck it?
No.
Should we go and bring military? We know some military leaders have done good.
Others have been so corrupt.
So actually, we cannot just, stand up and draw broad generalization that, just because we have a bit of evidence, we have, just.
We just draw the conclusion that that's how it is.
For the records, in Ghana now, enslaving a child is a crime.
Yeah, if people are doing it, they are perpetrating a criminal act, and therefore need to be.
It's a crime. Yeah. The trocosi system that used to be, that we know, doesn't exist anymore. I don't come from that area, but I know it does not exist
legally
the way it used to be anymore. And if there exists anything like that, the person should make a complaint to the police, because that will be breaching the laws of Ghana. That's it.
Wow, listeners, we will be bringing the program to a close. It's just gone 1 o'clock. Like I've been announcing this afternoon, exactly at 5 o'clock, we'll be bringing you the Renew Show with Charlotte Odum. So you make a date with her. But Gina says that she is a royal. Oh, okay, we hear you are royal. What is your stool name?
Nana Ohima Satin. No, is that Michel Hima? Credit Hima.
And I think I'm going to make Obi they skin him. You know that place what they say? They say they skin them in the north.
What?
Is it they call
you throw away the skin? You throw away. You go with a lighter and set it on fire. He will go and set it on fire. And they will distill him within a minute. They will distill him within a minute.
When we add this in a Rolls Royce to it, some nice palace, and some servants, some nice women.
No, they will bend that Rolls Royce.
Well, listeners, we bring the program to a close. Like we said, don't you go away. This afternoon, we're going to have a mixed grill there. Mixture of music coming your way by 5 o'clock. We have a renewed show, and then that'll be followed at 6 o'clock by a repeat broadcast of the BB Means Business Show with BB Clement, and then exactly at 7 o'clock, KB Bossman and Vicky Newton will be coming your way with the Property Hour. Make a date on all those programs; it will help you a great deal. So, on that note, Frank, before we go,
actually, everybody should have a very blessed afternoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, and from my side, I say have a blessed afternoon as well. But we go or not leave
yes,
it.
actually, before we go, tomorrow, on Roots of Africa. Let me just tell a little bit about the person we're having. On the Roots of Africa tomorrow, we're going to be having King. Let me get the details more. I don't want to make a mistake. We're going to be having His Majesty King Bugan, the third of Indo Kingdom. That is who we're going to be having tomorrow, and I do believe I'm going to be having an Ambassador Imoro also as part of the guest panelists, who will help in throwing some questions. At the time we're going to get ourselves into. It's going to be an interesting. It's one of the cases, and again, he's greatly involved in development issues, so it will be a very good thing tomorrow.
Our kids have become development agents. What about that? Yes. Join us exactly at 3 o'clock tomorrow when Frank brings you the Roots of Africa program. It's an idol production. So on that note, we say thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said, don't go away. Continue to keep your dials till London Star Radio UK. I'll bring you this song from Better Simons. It says Belembe. Enjoy it. When that song ends and you don't hear from us, it's been me, Archie, and Mr. Frank David saying have a blessed day. Bye-bye for now.
Worldwide, online 24/7.
Starr Radio UK.
Thanks for listening.
Chema